sisters, friends, you know, on the 14th of June 2017, I watched, as many did in horror, the fire unfolding at Grenfell Tower. I joined the fire service in 1983, and in my career I'd never seen anything on that scale, as none of us ever had. Firefighters around the world watched in horror. Whole communities, the entire country watched in horror at the threat of what fire can actually mean to people in their homes. In the richest capital city, the richest borough in one of the richest countries in the world, 72 people died in their own home. And that raises some fundamental questions around what sort of society we actually live in. And in the aftermath of that fire, I met the new minister who said it's a game changer, it's going to be a turning point. I met chief fire officers who said Grenfell is a game changer, it's a turning point. And you know what? We haven't seen anything to change direction in the 2+ years since the Grenfell Tower fire happened. We've been promised justice for Grenfell indeed. We've been promised an end to austerity. Theresa May said she was going to end austerity. Boris Johnson has said austerity is ending. Yet behind all these cuts is a government policy of slashing public services all across the board. It's financially driven, it's got absolutely nothing to do with public safety, it's got absolutely nothing to do with professionalism. It is simply about saving a few pounds. That's all it's about. And as has been said, why? Because 10 years ago, people sitting in boardrooms in city banks here and elsewhere around the world pressed a few buttons and sparked a financial crisis all across the world. It wasn't Suffolk firefighters who did it, or people who teach our kids, or anyone else running or delivering public services. They did that, but they're asking us, people who work in the public services and the people who rely on public services, to pay the price for their actions in the banks 10 years ago.
We rescue people, not banks!
I look at the proposals that are coming here in Suffolk, and I am flabbergasted at what is being proposed. I joined the London Fire Brigade in 1983. I completed a 13-week course. We understand that here in Suffolk they're going to say they're going to train people in 6 weeks. The idea that on the back of Grenfell Tower, on the back of inspections all across the country that are raising doubts about the ability of the fire and rescue service to do its job, you can then slash training is ludicrous, and it is not professional. Most people here are firefighters, but I'll say some words to people who aren't firefighters. In 1958, there was a fire in London, in Smithfield, in the market in Smithfield, where 2 firefighters died in the basement. And what that fire exposed was that people were going into fires, and the people in charge didn't know where they were in that fire. And 2 people died because their oxygen ran out, and nobody knew where they were. And as a result of that, we introduced procedures that have saved the lives of many, many hundreds, if not thousands of firefighters ever since, where we record what we're doing. We operate as teams. We know who's going in. We know when they're supposed to come out. And that's how we try to keep ourselves safe. And even then, we have still lost people in breathing apparatus jobs in the decades since then. And it strikes me that this generation of chief fire officers don't know one jot about the history of their own profession. And they are selling out their own profession. There is a body called the National Fire Chiefs Council. I believe Mark Harding, who actually sits on it and represents it on certain aspects of fire policy. They call themselves the professional voice of the fire and rescue service. I have to say, what is going on in the fire and rescue service here in Suffolk, and what is going on, as you heard, from Surrey and elsewhere, has got nothing to do with professionalism, has got nothing to do with public service at all. And they should hang their heads in shame as to what they're doing to our service. Because these people think they're clever, you know. But I'll tell you this, because we go to government and we say, you're slashing funding to the fire and rescue service, and funding has been slashed centrally by 40%. That's what lies behind this. And you talk to the fire minister, and the fire minister says, well, there's a professional plan in that case that has been signed off by the professional. I have to say, what is going on in the fire and rescue service here in Suffolk, and what is going on, as you heard, from Surrey and elsewhere, has got nothing to do with professionalism, has got nothing to do with public service at all. And they should hang their heads in shame as to what they're doing to our service. Because these people think they're clever, you know. But I'll tell you this, because we go to government and we say, you're slashing funding to the fire and rescue service, and funding has been slashed centrally by 40%. That's what lies behind this. And you talk to the fire minister, and the fire minister says, well, there's a professional plan in that case that has been signed off by the professional advisor to the authority, the chief fire officer, and then that has been signed off by the county council or the fire and rescue authority. And you then go to the fire and rescue authority and the chief fire officer, and they say, well, our funding's been slashed. And it's a vicious cycle. And if these clowns think it's ever going to stop, it will not stop while you keep signing off cuts packages, because you're providing the excuse to the government to carry on and carry on and carry on slashing funding to our service. And until one of you has the nerve and the confidence and the courage and the professional courage to stand up and say, enough is enough. And in my professional opinion, we can't make any more cuts. They will carry on slashing the budget. So you may think you're clever. Actually, it's inept, it's not professional, and it's downright bloody stupid what they're doing to our service. Yeah. Talk about, and you heard the phrase, IRMPs, integrated risk management plans. Well, I tell you what, they've got damn all to do with risk management. They are purely about budget management. And if that means sacrificing the safety of the public, if that means sacrificing professional standards, and if that means sacrificing firefighters, then those people, sadly, are prepared to do it, and they should hang their heads in shame for that.
Yeah.
Now, in my role, I have to attend occasionally inquests. I have attended inquests of members of the public, and I've attended far too many inquests of members of the Fire Brigades Union. And I'll tell you what, in all of those cases, I've never seen a fire and rescue service, and I've never seen a chief fire officer put their hands up and say, you know what, we're to blame. Because when it all goes wrong, they all run for cover, and they all cover their own backsides, and they employ the legal teams in their headquarters to make sure that their backsides are covered. And I've seen, when they talk that this is nothing to worry about, I've seen cases, unjustly in my opinion, and it was proved in court, I've seen cases of fire officers actually being arrested for the decisions that they made at operational incidents. So the idea that you could just dismiss this and say there's nothing to worry about, again, they don't know one jot about the history of their own service or their own profession, and they should hang their heads in shame. The cuts will not stop until we collectively stand up and say we're not prepared to take them anymore. And it is sad, it's a sad indictment of where we are, that the only people in the fire service who stand up to defend our service, to defend professionalism, to defend the lessons of the past, are actually ordinary rank and file professional firefighters who do the job on the front line. And sadly those people in charge have forgotten where they came from, forgotten every lesson of the past.
Yeah.
And I say this just to finish. Firefighters, we're the people who go in to inspect our buildings, and there's not enough of us to do it, and that's why fire safety has been undermined for more than 2 decades. Firefighters are the people who go out and do that. Firefighters are the people going into your homes to give you advice about how to stay safe in your homes. Firefighters are also the people, when those bells go down, when the alarm rings, who turn out not knowing what they're going to face, not knowing what risks that they're going to face, but hoping and relying on their knowledge, their equipment, their training and their comrades who they turn up with, because that's how they stay safe, that's how they get home at the end of the shift, and that's how they put the fire out or they get you out of the car crash. And they're proud to do that, and all they ask in return is the resources to be able to do it professionally. I don't think that's too much to ask for, and I ask Surrey County Council to actually deliver what those professionals need. Stand together, stay strong, you've got the full support of the Fire Brigades Union behind you.
Really, really